started to increase interest rates. For the past 5 years, the rate has been close to 0%. The economy is already showing signs of slowing down. Right now, the Bloomberg Commodity Index hit a 16-year low. The last time this happened was August 2008. Commodities represent all the goods being traded around the world. Everything from oil to coffee, sugar, steel, and copper. When their price slumps, it signals a slowdown in the world economy. Oil is reaching its 2008 low point. The last time the price of oil was this low, the global financial system was melting down. And this time, it will hit the U.S. economy much harder because of the shale miracle. CNBC's Jim Cramer is warning that many U.S. oil companies will become bankrupt if the price of oil remains this low. The price of copper, too, has plunged all the way down to $2. The last time it was this low was just before the stock market crash of 2008. Consumption is slowing down. U.S. imports of goods declined by 6.6% on a year-over-year basis. U.S. exports of goods declined by 10.4% on a year-over-year basis. 2015 was the worst year for holiday spending since 2008. U.S. manufacturing is contracting at the fastest pace that we have seen since the last recession. If just one or two of these indicators were flashing red, that would be bad enough. The fact that all of them seem to be saying the exact same thing tells us that big trouble is ahead. So, what are the experts saying?
What do you see right now? Actually, the economy is fundamentally strong. Housing is booming. Technology is booming. Commercial real estate's booming.
In all fairness to Obama, during his administration in the last few years, jobs have been created and the jobless rate is way down.
If you just kept it simple, you'd say that the United States is growing almost at kind of a trend growth, whether it's 2.5 or just under 3% growth or maybe even a little above it. Well, no, but around trend growth.
Following our checklist, we have an election year, the Fed raising interest rates, an economy slowing down, experts saying everything is fine. The only thing that's missing is the bubble that Trump warned will burst before the November elections. Does he know something we don't?
The word bubble, remember the word bubble. You heard it here first. I mean, I don't want to sound rude, but I hope if it explodes, it's going to be now rather than 2 months into another administration.
Well, to understand exactly what a bubble is, we need to look back at the dot-com and the mortgage CDO bubbles. In both cases, people thought that they had something that would never stop growing, something too big to fail. In both cases, stocks and housing attracted huge sums of money, driving their prices way beyond the actual value. This is just like gambling. Buyers get the asset, hoping they will sell it in the future for a profit. When the bubble bursts, those who are left with the asset suffer huge losses. Right now, I must ask you to give me your full attention. The following 5 minutes will be shocking and a little bit tricky to understand. And I hope you're sitting down for this. My prediction for 2016 is that we will see a banking collapse that will make the 2008 crisis look like a Sunday afternoon picnic. This coming crash will wipe out the entire U.S. financial sector and take with it savings, deposits, retirement funds, pensions. It'll be nothing short of a financial bloodbath. How can this be possible? Well, remember how bubbles are created when something seems to grow indefinitely? The delusion is that something is too big to fail. But the bigger the bubble becomes, the faster it fails. Right now, people think big banks can't fail because of their size and importance in the world economy. It is as blatant as their name suggests. How did we get here? On September 18, 2008, Hank Paulson, the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, told members of Congress that $5.5 trillion in wealth would disappear by 2 p.m. that day unless the government took immediate action. What took place next was undoubtedly the biggest blackmail in history. The threat, keep the big banks alive, or else the economy implodes and depositors lose their money. In December 2008, the first of many financial stability measures was put into place. The Fed's mission from now on was to keep the big banks alive no matter what. Economists calculated that the total cost of the various measures put into place to accommodate big banks was in excess of $20 trillion up to this year. The too-big-to-fail banks now had a taxpayer-sponsored safety net. The message was clear. Do whatever risky business you want. We've got your back. And this is how Congress and the Federal Reserve created the ultimate bubble, the too-big-to-fail bubble. The idea that the too-big-to-fails were going to get cut down to size